Hello everyone, today I will be demonstrating how to use an NE555P timer IC circuit and along with a switch to run an LED for a short amount of time. The first component we will need is a 9-volt battery, a battery clip in which two wires are attached. The battery clip wires are frayed and will not insert into the breadboard correctly, so I advise you to add on these wires so that it's easier for you to insert the battery clip wires into the breadboard. Next component is the breadboard. Regular breadboard jumper wires, a button switch, an LED, a capacitor of a capacitance of 47 microfarads. So this is 47 microfarads. The NE555P timer IC circuit and 3 resistors. The first resistor has a resistance of 100 kilo ohms. The code here is given brown, black, light green and gold. This is of 100 kilo ohms. Second one is a resistor of 1 kilo ohm. Its code is brown, black, red, gold. This is of 1 kilo ohm. And the last resistor is of 470 ohms. I repeat, 470 ohms. And the code is yellow, purple, brown and gold. 470 ohms. Let me demonstrate how to build this circuit. So first, take your breadboard. Then take the battery clip and the battery and attach them together. Keep this aside for now. Next, take the timer IC circuit. You want to make sure that this notch is facing the direction in which you insert the battery wires. So insert it towards this direction. I will turn it. If you can, to make sure you're doing it correctly, there are small readings on the IC circuit. If you read it correctly, then the knot should be on the left of it. Next, now take the battery and clip and then attach it. Connect the red wire to the positive terminal on your breadboard and the black wire to the negative or blue terminal on your breadboard. In your IC circuit, there are 8 pins. So when you insert it, the first pin, which is directly below the notch, is the first pin. This pin will be connected to the negative terminal or negative column of the breadboard. For those who are using breadboard first time, these 5 columns are one line connected. And here in the long negative and positive terminals, one bar runs till halfway and then a second bar runs the other halfway. So if you are connecting a wire here, you have to connect another wire on this side to connect it to both, to connect the circuit here to the negative terminal. Now the pin above the notch is the eighth pin, which will be connected using another wire to the positive terminal. Let's be clear with this. Next, right now we do not want to use the fifth pin. It is not required for the circuit, so you do not need it. Do not worry about that pin. Now, the pin next to the eighth pin is the seventh and sixth pin. The seventh pin has been named discharge, or decharge, and the sixth pin has been named threshold. So what you want to do is connect those two pins using one wire. And then put a wire in on the sixth pin row, and place it outside like few pins distance from the IC circuit, like this. Now, when you attach your wire coming from the 6th and 7th pin, you want to make sure it's coming in the 4th pin from the top. Then take your 100 kilo ohm resistor and attach it in the same line. Make sure the other end goes to the positive terminal. So now take your capacitor and make sure, since this is a polarized capacitor, make sure that the longer leg is placed in the same line as the resistor. And take another wire and connect the capacitor other end to the negative terminal. So this is how much more we have done. Just to make sure, this is 100 kilo ohms resistor. Now, the second pin next to the wire connecting to the negative terminal is also called the trigger pin. Now take the switch and attach it as such. Make sure it's in the line with the second pin at one end, and at the other end in connection with the negative terminal end. Now take out the negative terminal wire that's coming from the battery. Next, take the 1 kilo ohm resistor and attach it in one of the pins before the switch. Attach this resistor in the positive terminal of the breadboard. So you just want to put it there. Now, take the 470 ohm resistor and take it to the third pin. The third pin is the output pin. It's called the output pin. You can see why, because we are attaching the LED to this pin right after the resistor. Now make sure you're putting the correct leg of the LED, like the capacitor, into the pin next to the resistor. Like a capacitor, the LED is also polarized. The longer legs should be put into the last peg. Now, the pin after the trigger pin is the reset pin or the fourth pin. You will take the wire and attach it to the positive terminal. Now, reconnect the negative terminal pin. So our circuit is done. Our circuit is done. Now make sure all the resistors, LEDs and other components are firmly fixed into the breadboard. Now press the button switch. So this is the final circuit. So when you press the button or the button switch, the LED will switch on and switch off. This time is about for 5 seconds. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.